Tasha K pretty much ended her career after doing this. Her starting a GoFundMe is unethical, to say the least. And what I want to talk about is continue our conversation that we had yesterday about this situation. Let me see if I can bring this up real fast. On a friendly old laptop. So Tasha K took it to her social media and basically posted the following. And I want to pretty much give my commentary about this issue because I get it that she's having legal problems and the walls is caving in. What I don't like about this particular case is that people are, I guess they're being emotionally drawn in to believing that they're supposed to carry the burden that Tasha has. In other words, if you're a fan, you're a supporter, I guess because the judgment came upon her, you're supposed to feel for her in this time, as if though Cardi's the enemy. No. Tasha spread vicious rumors and gossip that were lies about Cardi B. These vicious rumors were designed to damage her reputation and cause her a lot of emotional stress and various other issues. And Cardi tried to get Tasha to do the right thing. But being that Tasha was focusing on making money, she didn't care because she was untouchable at the time. Nobody would try to say anything against her. It's something about influencers that are in the gossip niche, especially people that are always dropping the tea, always got people that go out there and do the dirty work. They look for all the dirt, they find all the mess, and they bring it back to Tasha K. It can be a very serious problem for you if you're on Tasha's radar, especially if you got a dirty past, right? Because she'll bring up all the mess, and people love mess. In this particular case with Cardi, the things that Tasha said was not true, and I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, why is it that the viewers, if you know that Tasha lied, right? You as a viewer have to say, wait a minute, I'm a fan. At the same time, you lost credibility. You told us what you told us about Cardi B. It was not true. So under those circumstances, you lied to your viewers. You got rich. Just off of the Cardi B drama, Tasha K got rich. The amount of videos that she made, she got rich just from those videos. And now she wants you to pay the bill. Let's look at what she wrote on her YouTube. She went into her community section and she said the following. To my winos, from the bottom of my soul, thank you. Y'all asked me to let you help bless me. And who am I to block our blessings? On day one, alone, we raised almost 10,000 between GoFundMe, Cash App, and Venmo. I'm beyond grateful. I'm going to stop right there because I got to unpack this and park the car. We thought that she was just doing this fundraiser on GoFundMe. Things just got worse. This has truly ended Tasha K's career on social media. Not only is she begging on GoFundMe, but she's also utilizing Cash App and Venmo to further gain monies. Now, here's the problem. She talked about transparency. You don't know how much she's gaining through Cash App. You don't know how much she's gaining through Venmo. It's not visible for the people to see. So she could tell you whatever she wants. You don't know. You will never know. And I think that's dangerous as a donor, to continually blindly give someone who is rich. Now you have to think about this, guys. You have to be insane to give a woman who is rich $3.5 million so she could pay another rich woman. You have to be insane to do that. You do know that, right? You all got problems and issues. Some of you may not have these type of issues. We got to be logical in our thinking and recognize when something is not right. Let Tasha K pay her own bills, guys. Let her pay her own debt. Just say, look, this one, we're going to step out of this one, because it's you got to be insane to get involved. I'm not paying a rich woman who made millions of dollars on YouTube to bail her out of gossip that she did. I'm just not doing that. And again, as I spoke about this yesterday, I know that we most likely had some Tasha K fans in the building. And again, I'm not here to tell you to stop supporting her as a content creator. You should always support the content creators that you like. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is a business. I'm not here to try to stop nobody from making money, because I don't like when people do that to me. They do that all the time. I'm just saying that when I look at this situation with this GoFundMe, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It's unethical. It's wrong. It's embarrassing. You understand? She did this to herself, guys. Being that she did this, you got to let her learn her lesson. If you guys, look, how is Tasha going to learn her lesson, y'all? Y'all know, based on the facts, that she lied about Cardi B. Okay. How do Tasha learn her lesson if you're bailing her out? How is she going to learn her lesson? How would you learn your lesson if you did this? And shout out to V-Dub, man. I see you in the building. Salute to everybody joining the show. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up and give it a like. In life, when we make decisions, right, we learn our lessons. I made a lot of bad decisions in my life, and I paid a price for it. You know what I'm saying? I learned from bad decisions. I wish I could have made the right decision at the time, but sometimes you just don't know. Maybe you don't have the knowledge to make the right decision. Unfortunately, we make bad decisions. Tasha knew better when dragging Cardi B, but she thought that because she's on YouTube, that she's untouchable. This is one of the misconceptions of being an influencer. You think that, okay, if I add or share commentary about somebody, that I'm good at all times. Yeah, you might have the right for, sharing your expressions about what you believe and what your opinions are. That's cool. But when you promote something as a fact, when it is not a fact, and it is causing another individual all sorts of issues, they're losing money, they're stressed out, going through a lot of stuff. I mean, claiming that somebody have a venereal disease when they don't, that's beyond cruel. Nobody want to wear that jacket. That's like you're an influencer and another person on YouTube is saying that you got HIV or you got herpes. That stuff can mess you up emotionally. It can mess up relationships. Picture you a woman and somebody's spreading a rumor that you got herpes, imagine how many guys that probably like you are going to probably now start looking at you all crazy like, damn, she's dirty. You know what I mean? And it's not that she's dirty. You know, most people that, I guess, contract STIs, STDs, whatever the case is, in most cases, these are just people that got with the wrong person and they suffer the consequences. Hopefully they learn from it. But when it's not true, that can really mess with a person's mind. And in this case, this is why Cardi B did what she did, you know, and she won. So as a fan of Tasha K, you as a fan are supposed to, you can ride with Tasha K, yes. At the same time, you got to hold her accountable. I would expect my viewers, I'm talking about the ones that support me, the real ones, you know what I mean? If you see me doing something out of pocket, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going off. And you a supporter. I'm a real supporter. And you see things and you're like, this ain't good for the platform, man. Like, bro, let me highlight you real quick. I know this is your platform. I know it is what it is. But what you're doing, you may want to adjust that, bro. Like for real. I would expect the real supporters to pull me to the side. Don't be afraid to pull me to the side because sometimes I could feel that I'm doing the right thing. But sometimes from your point of view, you may be able to see clearly and be like, I don't think that's the right move. Always get a second opinion. That's what we always heard, right? Second opinion, third opinion. Sometimes you could go to a mechanic and they could tell you, oh, that job is going to be $5,000. What? For an oil change? Well, not just the oil change, but we got to do other inspections and it's going to cost about 5,000. So, nah, let me go get a second opinion. You go to a real mechanic that actually care about the customer. He look at you and he's like, oh, all you need is this particular oil and oh, that'll be about $100. $100, that's it? Yeah, but don't worry about it. I'll just do it real fast. You don't got to pay me that. It's cool. He just gained business because not only did he look out for you, he didn't try to rob you like the other dude. A lot of content creators are trying to rob the people from their money by emotionally making you get connected to the storyline and the narrative. Tasha K has to pay this bill in order to learn her lesson, guys. You have to let her pay her way and let her go through it. She got the money. Tasha K is rich. I think a lot of y'all are forgetting these things. See, the numbers that she get on social media tells the story. Tasha K been rich for a long time, very long time. Have any of you ever visited Tasha K's house? Do you know how she's living? Do you know what kind of car she drives? Do you know what kind of jewelry she wears? Do you know these things? See, if you don't understand the magnitude of how these influencers live behind the scenes, you will treat them as if they are, and I'm not trying to be offensive when I say on your level, because if she's rich and she got all this money, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's at peace or happy. You can have all of that and still be miserable. I'm saying that to make you understand that sometimes we look at people and we think they're just like us when they're not. They're living a whole different type of lifestyle that you could only dream about. But in your world, when you see them, you think she's going to a 9 to 5 like you. She got to deal with traffic like you. She got to pay for her food bill like you. And it's not the case, fam. Tasha K is rich. And for people to be invested into this type of situation here, thinking that it's their job to give her, your hard-earned money, 3.5 million. That's insane. I remember when I was in the Christian religion and This is way back in I guess it was in like the 2000s, around 2000s. Um, I remember I was following this preacher named Creflo Dollar. Some of y'all probably know of him as the prosperity preacher, who y'all probably call him Pass a Dollar or whatever the case is. But I was following his ministry from about 1995 all the way up to about 2005. That's when I pretty much left Christianity and decided to seek out God on my own. Um, I remember he was lying to us because he would come to New York. I'm originally from New York, Brooklyn, New York, to be quite frank. Currently live in North Carolina. Um, I recall he was trying to let us know that he's building a church in New York, and he wanted, I believe, they was gonna, the church was supposed to cost around 10 to 60 million dollars. And every time we went to church, they raising money, offerings every damn minute. They keep coming up with buckets saying we raising money. And I knew from the beginning that the church would never be built, because at that moment I was having doubts that this man is a pulpit pimp and he's just taking everybody's money, because people would be poor in the church and they would never do anything for the poor. Come to find out, they never built the church. So all that money basically went into his pockets. And this is the same thing when I look at the Cardi B situation with Tasha. When you guys are sending in your money, that money is going into her pocket. She's able to save her money because your money is footing the bill. It's no different than she's dining and dashing in a restaurant and you come in and you bail her out. Hey, waiter, I got the bill. And she don't get no accountability. You're paying the bill. So she never learned her lesson. So Tasha will continue to do what she always did because she knows she have a viewership. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but a lot of times people are just naive, gullible, and they just follow the trends and they just do whatever uh, their favorite podcaster tells them to do. So now she came on social media in her community section and she said the following under a post. She says, "To my winos, from the bottom of my soul, thank you. Y'all asked me to let you bless me." She's calling this a blessing. This is not a blessing. A judgment of $3.5 million is not a blessing. But she want you to believe that if you pay the bill, that's a blessing. Now think about this, gang. If Tasha K had a true die-hard following of people that really rock with her, and she already got 1 point something million dollars, not million dollars, excuse me, 1 point something million, almost 2 million subscribers, shouldn't she have over $2 million raised already? That right there lets you know that you don't look at subscriber count and conclude that everybody rock with you. Because if her subscribers rock with her 100%, Tasha K would already have $1 million already. Just $1 raised. If everybody just donated $1, she would have, you know, $1 million and something dollars already. But a lot of people are intelligent in today's day. We could see through the nonsense. Now you're gonna have people that's gonna fall through the cracks because they're emotionally invested. But this situation, none of you should be involved in. So she says, "To my winos, from the bottom of my soul, thank you. Y'all asked me to let you help bless me. And who am I? Who am I to block our blessings?" Now she want you to believe that if you give your hard-earned money to pay her bill, that God is going to somehow bless you, because she's saying blessings. We all know blessings come from God, right? And to be honest with you, to be really, really honest with you, although we have a belief that blessings come from God, it's the people that are giving the money, not God. Let's just call it what it is, guys. Because a lot of times we get religious, right? And again, I'm just speaking truth, making sense of everything. If God is the one blessing, it won't involve people, because God will do it himself. If you have to give me something, you're the one who did it. Now, we could always say God is using people, but how do you know that? Because sometimes somebody could give you money and it didn't come from God, it came from the devil. So we really can't say if somebody give you something that it came from God, because the devil can make people give you a bad deal or lock you in a 360 deal as a music artist. Was that from God? Was that a blessing? No, that was a curse. So although she's using the terms blessings, she wants you to believe that if you do this for her, God is going to bless you. She says on day one alone, we raised almost 10K between GoFundMe, Cash App, Venmo. I'm beyond grateful. Now, she says grateful because that's typical of what you're supposed to say to be in good standing with the donors, you know? And typically, attorneys and PR folk will tell her when you're communicating with the public, make sure you use those key words grateful, that you're thankful from the bottom of your soul. These are key words that create an emotional connection with the listener. So it goes on and says, we've got 364 days left to reach our goal and finally close this 9-year court battle. Now, at this point, she's not taking accountability. This is problematic. She's telling you that we've got 364 days left. That adds a time limit in which she need you to, I guess, get into action to give her this money to reach our goal, she says. Everything she's doing is to make you believe that you're a part of this. In other words, we've got 364 days left to reach our goal and finally close this 9-year court battle, as if though this is my court battle. This is not my court battle, Tasha. Tasha, listen, I know you're listening right now. I know you're watching my live stream somewhere in the clouds, right? Do the right thing and close the GoFundMe. Close the GoFundMe today. Close it down. You're wrong for opening a GoFundMe. You're wrong. Stop gaslighting these viewers. Do the right thing. Again, I'm not here to disrespect Tasha K. I'm not here to put her down. I'm not here to insult. I'm not doing that. I'm here to speak on a situation in hopes that the viewers will pay attention and not allow themselves to become a victim through emotional connections. Tasha is using key words similar to mind control. We've got 364 days left. No, not we, Tasha, not we've. No, you got 364 days to get that money. You, not we've. All right? 364 days left to reach our goal? No, Tasha, look. You owing Cardi B 3.5 million is not our goal. She want her money. You got to pay that. What you're supposed to do is make more YouTube videos, start grinding, start popping out them content, find some new gossip, do whatever you got to do to get that tea. Even if you have to start selling tea, you're going to have to do what you got to do to get that money. And if you don't, this becomes content for content creators. Now, you're on the chopping block because now people are going to be making content now. There's a lot of people making content about this situation. You know, I choose to do my content in a more calm, way where we can have the conversation because, I'm 48 years young and I'm trying to have a grown adult conversation with mature people, not a loud space where everybody's just insulting people all day and throwing a bunch of innuendos and attacks. And I don't got time for all that goofy stuff, right? I want to deal with the real issues so that people don't get suckered, similar to people getting suckered in these churches where these pastors are taking all your money. Cardi B most likely already have this money. That's the part that bothers me. That's the part that bothers me. She's been doing YouTube for a long time. She's been monetized for a long time. That's a lot of money saved up, guys. That's a lot of money. You understand? And I feel that it may be a lot, but she don't want that money to come out her pocket. That's how rich people move. Guys, listen to me carefully. Rich people don't be using their money. Rich people don't use their money. Rich people use other people's money to get things done. That's how the rich stays rich. See, you thought that rich people take their money to start businesses and take their money to do this. They don't use their money. They know all the loopholes of how to get something done without using their money. Their money stays in their bank. They don't use $1. They get loans, they get people to invest, and they tie everything up nice and neat where they never have to touch their money. And then on top of that, they'll make money. You get what I mean? And they're able to pay whoever they need to pay. That's how they make money. That's how they stay rich. Right? So we've got 364 days left to reach our goal and finally close this 9-year court battle. I'm rolling out snacks, shirts, wine glasses, and mentorship classes with me, all proceeds going towards the mission. No, Tasha. No. Mm-mm. See, we don't need you to roll out snacks. We can buy our own snacks. You understand? We can go buy our own snacks at Food Lion or Dollar Tree or wherever we want to go to get our snacks. We don't need you to roll them out for us. We don't need shirts or wine glasses or mentorships. Nobody wants no mentorship from you right now, respectfully. Understand? Because right now is not the time to be nobody's mentor when you have a judgment of 3.5 million. I cannot take mentorship from you. Respectfully. There's nothing I need to know from you when you got this kind of judgment on you. You understand? It doesn't make any sense. It's like when Cleveland was playing Washington and LeBron was able to make that impossible 3-point shot. At first, when he had the ball, he went up, totally traveled, and nobody called that call on him, but he threw the layup and he missed the shot. But then when homeboy did 2 free throws at the end of the game, they threw the ball back to LeBron. He did that impossible 3-point shot, won the game. It shocked the world. When you think about that, Tasha K is trying to shoot the ball to get the shot and be the hero. But the thing is, she actually dropped the ball when she fumbled and allowed this situation to take place. You cannot be the star player in the game when you spread a lie about Cardi B, and now people are looking at you like you crazy right now. It doesn't make any sense. She needs to be held accountable to the highest degree of the court. And that's the only way she's going to face judgment and really learn her lesson. Look, guys, a lot of you probably already been through having your wages garnished. Maybe you were younger, you made bad decisions with credit cards, and you were in some debt or had a loan or whatever the case is, and the creditor came for you and did what they needed to do, garnish your money. What happened? You learn your lesson, right? You learn your lesson. That's what happens. You're supposed to learn your lessons. Well, Cardi been rich. Well, not Cardi, excuse me. Tasha K been rich for a long time. And within that time of being rich, there's certain things she should know, things that she should do, things that she shouldn't do. And this incident cost her 3.5 million. Let her deal with it. It's not about us being mean, being insensitive, not having no compassion. Guys, this don't involve us, man. This don't involve us. I don't want nobody to get taken advantage of, because it kind of remind me of the situation with the brick lady. The lady, I believe she was a Somali lady, and she claimed that some black men hit her with a brick, and it was a lie. When that happened, I was the first YouTuber to call it out. And I told everybody her next step was she's going to start a GoFundMe page and raise thousands of dollars. That's exactly what she did. She turned black women and black men against one another. And it started a civil war between black men and black women, where black women were saying that black men ain't ish, and we can't depend on black men to protect us. And you know it is what it is. It got real ugly on social media. But that woman is a Somali woman. She's not a so-called African American woman. And we were divided off of a lie. And that woman was able to make all this money. And eventually she got arrested, and she got in trouble. But the point is, people use GoFundMe to rip people off a lot of times. Now, let me wrap this up and kind of continue reading this, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I looked up in regards to GoFundMe, because somebody was in my not live chat, in the comment section, and they were asking about should they report Tasha's GoFundMe. Now, let me also throw this out there first and foremost, right? iRingo TV do not condone anyone reporting anyone's pages or anyone's GoFundMe efforts or anything like that. What viewers choose to do is at their own discretion. That has nothing to do with me. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and views about the situation, because sometimes people do malicious things to try to sabotage people's growth and all of that. I'm doing things the right way by educating the community, giving you my thoughts and opinions, and then hopefully you can make a sound decision on what you choose to do. To me, that's the best course of action. Not really just going out there trying to sabotage uh, Tasha's situation, because even though I don't agree with the GoFundMe, my opinion is don't resort to just reporting somebody's pages. So if you're viewing my content, don't do that, right? Let's give the people the knowledge so that they can make the right choice on whether they want to support it or not. You get it? Because I don't want people to do those type of things and then people come back and say, well, Ringo said to do it. I never said to do that. I'm having a conversation. Like I said, I'm not trying to sabotage nobody's platforms. I never told any of you to stop supporting Tasha K. If you rock with her, continue to rock with her. Show support on her platform. That way, she can earn through YouTube monetization and various other ways in which she can increase to pay those debts the right way without resorting to any manipulative tactics to swindle the people out of their money. Because in my opinion, if you got a court order, pay your bill. Pay your bill. Look, when you owe money on your car and the bank is coming for you, they don't care if you lost your job. They don't care about nothing. They want their money. And as you grow in this world and you become an adult and you start realizing how serious life is, it gets real. And this is why we get the term live within your means, even though a lot of us may not do that all the time and we get ourselves in a little trouble. It can get really serious. So I'm going to read the rest of this, and then I'm going to look at some things that I searched up about GoFundMe and how this fundraiser effort can backfire on Tasha K if she's not careful. Now, let me continue reading this. So it says, we've got 364 days left to reach our goal and finally close this 9-year court battle. I'm rolling out snacks, shirts, wine glasses, and mentorship classes with me. All proceeds going towards the mission. Thank you to everyone who donated and supported on day one. The world may drag me, but the Wino gang always lift me up. Now, that right there is not cool to say, Tasha, because you're saying the world may drag me. You dragged Cardi B. You dragged a lot of people. So when you think about that, it's kind of hypocritical to say the world may drag me when you drag people. You just got to take whatever comes your way. So it goes on and it says, I'm also putting in 20K a month of my own money to help finish this faster. So now, if Tasha is given 20,000 a month, that means Tasha is making double or more. She's not going to pay 20,000 a month and take home 10,000 out of her ad revenue. So we know Tasha K is not making 30K a month. She's making way more. I already told you guys. A lot of these big YouTubers that are making millions, they are literally making somewhere between 60 to probably $150,000 a month. Now, I don't get nothing near that. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the low of the low. Don't look at subscriber count thinking, oh, I got it made. That don't mean nothing. You look at the views. You look at the views, you look at the engagement, you look at the support, and that'll tell you the story. When I do content like this, a lot of times people just get upset and they choose not to support me. You know what I mean? And I'm doing the right thing. I'm not doing anything crazy or goofy. I'm just doing my commentary, sharing my thoughts, and rocking out, right? So she says, I'm going to put in 20K a month of my own money to help finish this faster. Keep me in your prayers. We're about to make history together. Again, she's gaslighting the viewers. She uses prayer. When she uses prayer, she's using God. Keep me in your prayers. There's nothing to pray about, ladies and gentlemen. The judgment has already been rendered upon Tasha K. You owe Cardi B $3.5 million. There is nothing to pray about at this point. Why is she telling you to keep her in your prayers? No, you're not supposed to keep her in your prayers. She was judged. You understand? Listen, guys, again, if you're going through a hard time, would Tasha K come through for you? Would Tasha K keep you in her prayers? No. I know you're a fan. I get all of that. She's a busy woman. She's not praying for you. She's not going to do nothing for you. That's just the way it is. That's the reality of it, guys. No matter how you see it, that's the reality. So now, and I'm not saying you can't pray for her. If you want to, that's your prerogative. But what I'm showing you is she's gaslighting you. She's love bombing you. She's saying, keep me in your prayers. We're about to make history together. Make history in what? You owe a debt that have nothing to do with me. How is that making history? No. She says, thank you for honoring my birthday wishes. So her birthday wishes is you giving her 3.5 million. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. And she literally put, guys, on the YouTube, she put her GoFundMe link, her Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. So from 4 different sources, guys, she want you to fund the bill. That's crazy, man. That's nasty work. That is diabolical, nasty work. And on her GoFundMe right now, the GoFundMe is raised so far $6,928. $6,928 so far. Now, here's the thing. Where is all of Tasha K's millionaire friends to foot the bill? See, these are guys, again, Tasha knows a lot of people, guys. She knows a lot of movers, shakers, people that are the heavy hitters in the content creator industry. How come they won't come forward and just pay this off for her? Because they know better. They're not about to get involved in something that she caused. Neither should you. You understand? That's why I'm doing these videos. Now, let me switch gears and find out some info that I looked at on Google, looking up some stuff here. So I was just kind of browsing around, trying to figure out some things about the case with this defamation thing, and kind of asked the question, if a woman was ordered by a judge to pay 3.5 million to someone for defamation of character, can that person start a GoFundMe to make other people raise the money for her, right? So now the information I get back, it says yes, it is possible for a person ordered to pay a defamation judgment to start a GoFundMe campaign to raise the money from the public, as evidenced by similar high profile cases. However, the campaign must comply with GoFundMe's terms of service, which prohibit fraud and may restrict campaigns that violate legal or safety policies, which mean a lot of time. And also salute to everybody joining in on the show. Appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you are in the building, right? So now it's saying yes that you can have a GoFundMe. Now the problem is how the GoFundMe is set up, and does it violate their terms of service? So now it says key aspects of this situation includes president. Let me see. Okay, in early 2026, blogger Tasha K launched a GoFundMe to help pay a 3.5 million defamation judgment owed to Cardi B, after previously stating it was her responsibility to handle it. Now, that is something that is key for you guys to understand. When you go back to, if I can get this here, because I want to make sure that I have two laptops in front of me. I want to make sure that everything is done in decency and order. So now, if we go back to Tasha K's GoFundMe, right? I'm going to read it through. I'm going to let you hear this. We talked about it yesterday, but I got to give you a review back. So it says, Winos, for years, many of you have asked me to start a fundraiser to help me pay off the judgment against me. I always refused because I believe it was my responsibility to handle it on my own. Do you see that? But after many conversations with you all, I'm finally listening. So now she's not taking responsibility, guys. You are. That's problematic, man. That is problematic because she already know that it's her responsibility to deal with this issue. But because she emotionally connected with you, she's making you foot the bill. Now, it goes on and says platform policies. GoFundMe allows campaigns for legal fees, but they must not violate terms related to illegal acts, hateful content, or in some cases, serious violations of the law. If a campaign is found to violate these terms, GoFundMe can remove it and refund donations. So it goes into legal and legal risk. Okay, while not inherently illegal to ask for help, raising money to pay for defamation damages can be viewed critically by the public, as seen in the backlash against Tasha K's fundraiser. Effect on judgment. A fundraiser does not erase the legal obligations to pay the judgment. The creditor, the person who won the lawsuit, can continue to pursue financial enforcement, such as seizing assets or garnishing wages, even while a fundraiser is active. Important consideration: transaction fees. GoFundMe takes a percentage of 2.9% plus 30 cents per donation to cover processing fees. Beneficiary control funds are generally released only to the named beneficiary, the person who owes the money. Legal advice: it is risky to name the person who sued for defamation on the fundraiser page, as this can be seen as further defamation. And sometimes just having the GoFundMe can be looked upon as harassment, because it's almost like, when you think about it, if Tasha was already judged by the court to pay this money, and she's coming on the public saying, pray for me, we're gonna make history, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, that's sort of like harassing Cardi B, like to say, well, I'm not wrong, the court is wrong for giving me this judgment. In other words, God is gonna bless me because you guys got it wrong. I never did no wrong. Listen, now I don't know if I made a mistake and said Cardi. If I did, my bad. But Tasha have to take accountability for this entire situation and not allow you, the viewer, to get involved, because she must be held accountable for this entire situation. Now, it says beneficiary control. Funds are generally released only to the named beneficiary, the person who owes the money. What I would suggest is that Cardi B and her legal team take a look into Tasha K's GoFundMe so that nothing is transferred to Tasha K. In other words, the fundraiser is most likely set up to an account that Tasha has. I feel that if Tasha set up this GoFundMe, the monies is not even supposed to be seen in her account. It needs to go directly to Cardi B. That way, Tasha don't have to be transparent with you about anything, because it's already set up legally to go to Cardi B. Why it got to go into her account? And how do you know she's using the money for Cardi B? You don't know. And that's the problem. You don't know where the money is going. She's collecting monies on GoFundMe, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Where's the transparency with those other apps where people can donate money? How do you know the money is being allocated properly and we know the exact number of where things are? Because some people may not want to use GoFundMe. They may use Cash App. Well, how do you know how much she received? She never made that transparent on social media. She told you in that post that she put on her YouTube that y'all made her almost 10,000. So now, if you calculate $10,000, let's just say $10,000 a day, it's going to take her a long time, very long time, man, to raise 3.5 million. And if her viewers were really rocking with her hard body 100%, she would already done had $1 million already raised. A lot of times, a GoFundMe or creating a GoFundMe tells you a lot about where you are in terms of your connection to your viewers. You know what I mean? It really do. Because if they really rock with you, then the goal would be met immediately. You know what I'm saying? If she got 1 million, almost 2 million followers, come on now, it's easy to raise 3 million. All they got to do is just give $1 or just give $3, and she got the money she need already. But it didn't happen because a lot of people, this is morally wrong. This is not right. Even though you can use GoFundMe to fundraise and people use it for legal fees and all that other stuff, that's cool. But when it's the legal fees process, that's one way. I get it. You got into a scuffle, you fought a man, for whatever reason he died. You're going to court, you need an attorney, legal fees got to be paid, all that stuff. Okay, we use GoFundMe to raise the money. But if you already went to trial and you've been found guilty and you're going to prison, there's no need for me to fundraise for nothing at that point. I'm not giving you no more money. You already got judged, you're guilty, you're going to serve time in prison. Why are we still trying to raise money for you? The court case is over. You're going to prison. That's the same case with Tasha K. It's not in the process no more. She already, judgment have been rendered on her already. So there's nothing to fundraise at this point. She got to do the time. She has to do the time. It's the only way she's going to learn the lesson to never do it again. If you guys bail Tasha K out of this, she will always feel that she could do this again, because it's like, hey, they bailed me out of 3.5 million. Man, them people are weak. And that's what she's going to say in her heart. She's not going to tell you that publicly. But in her mind, she's like, wow, I didn't know I had that kind of control over these people. So you really got to be careful with getting involved in this situation, because it's it's not something that I feel rational thinking people should get involved. I think that you should just step back and kind of see how she do what she need to do. She's a content creator. She needs to just work and grind, put out videos, and do whatever she needed to do. She wanted you to believe that this case is holding her back from making content. No, it's not. It's not making her listen. She got to do what she got to do. She got to do what she got to do. She got the money. I don't know why she don't just pay it off and do whatever. And sometimes, being that she's using GoFundMe, sometimes her attorneys may give her that, you know, suggestion. Hey, go start yourself a GoFundMe. You know, set up your PayPal, set up this. That'll help ease the stress. Let your viewers pay it. You know what I'm saying? They your fans. They won't know any better. Tell them that, God is blessing them. Tell them that, I really need you right now. No. Don't let her gaslight you right now, fam. Don't let her do that to you. Mm-mm. If you owe MasterCard and Visa card, you got to pay them. You got to pay them, guys. I know it's rough. I know it is what it is, but you got to pay them, fam. You got to do what you got to do. Life is not easy, but still, we got to learn our lessons in life. We're all adults. Hopefully, everybody that's watching this right now is a grown adult, a grown man, a grown woman, and you're mature and you understand what's going on. You know, let me see. PC Gamer says 3.5 million is making my chest hurt. Maybe Tasha should stop gossiping. Hey, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's social media. People love listening to gossip. The problem with gossip content is that a lot of times people, they say stuff like, "Oh, it's just entertainment," or they give a little disclaimer, "All my content is entertainment," and stuff. But it's not entertainment, fam, when your content is alleging that somebody have herpes or whatever the case. That's not entertaining, fam. You're playing with somebody's life at this moment. Because if you hear the lie multiple times, it becomes the truth now. And that's how it be on social media. A lot of times people will say something, it's a lie, but if they say it long enough, the viewers begin to believe it as the truth. And then the viewers begin to share the lie, and then it just goes all over social media. Before you know it, everybody claimed you got herpes now. Imagine you on the job as a woman, a respectful woman, and everybody's looking at you funny. And you're like, why is everybody looking at me funny? Well, because there's a rumor going on that you have a venereal disease and how you're a loose woman. And the person who started that, they try to maliciously destroy your life because they're jealous of you. And now everybody's looking at you weird. And by the time the truth come out, the damage was already done. Damage was already done. You lost relationships, you lost opportunities. People looked at you like you're a monster. And that was the case with Cardi B and Tasha. You know what I mean? So we just got to make the right decisions, guys. We really have to make the right decisions when it comes to this situation. I feel that maybe her attorneys put her up to this. She's going to say that she had conversations with her viewers. She's going to say that, but I don't believe that. I believe that she did this because her back is against the wall right now. She's like, look, if the people want to pay my bills, then let them pay it. I think that's wrong. She's a millionaire. She's rich, guys. You understand? So a rich woman should be able to pay her bills. It doesn't make sense for her to be rich and you are giving her the money to pay Cardi B. That's insanity right there. That's crazy. That is crazy because, like, there are people out here that are really going through things, people that are really struggling that could need a boost, a cushion, something to help them get through. And to see that people are this gullible to just send her their money, I'm like, that's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy that money can come out your pocket. Like in my last video, if you go into the comment section, some people were upset with me. They were posting all sorts of comments. Leave her alone. Uh, if people want to donate, they could donate to who they want. You're right. People can donate to who they want. But is this morally right? No, it's wrong. It is wrong, guys. Tasha should not have put up a GoFundMe. She ended her career like this, guys. This is a bad look. A bad look. She's literally begging. I'm seeing people, they telling me, Tasha never begged. You're lying. Tasha never begged. You're making that up. I'm not making it up. By the pure fact she set up a GoFundMe, a Venmo, a PayPal, you know what I mean? And a Cash App, bro, she's begging for the money, fam. She don't have to come out and be like, please, please, please. By the pure fact she came out with this, she's begging the viewers, man. She's begging the viewers to pay her debt. You got your own debts. It don't make no sense, fam. Yeah, a fool and his money shall soon depart. Yeah, that's a true saying from the scriptures. You know, I what I try to do is give viewers something to think about. You know, give you something to think about so that you can make your own decision. Again, you're gonna do what you want to do regardless. I'm just trying to stop people from being played, because the worst thing that can happen to anybody is losing your hard-earned money. Many of us done things with money and we lost our money, invested in something we had no business doing, gave somebody money thinking that we were helping them, but they were doing something else with the money, and we got burned in life. You know what I mean? So I try to give people information so that they can make the right choice. Um, I recommend that nobody support that GoFundMe. If you want to support her in terms of content, let's say uh, Tasha does a live stream, and as she does do this live stream, it is interesting, it was funny, it was entertainment, and you wanted to hit her Cash App because you got some value from her show, then by all means, do that. You know what I mean? That's showing support. I get that a lot with my content. Sometimes, I could be going through a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm dealing with a lot of different issues myself. And sometimes you just want to stay to yourself and stay quiet. But I find that sometimes when I come online and I do my job and I'm doing my content, sometimes people just start supporting my show. And I didn't even expect that to happen. Like, I'll just be working, doing my thing, and it's like support would come in. Financial support would come in while I'm streaming. So sometimes you have to work in order to get that support. You just cannot just sit there and be like, woe is me. I'm going through, oh my goodness. Sometimes when you just say, you know what, let me dust myself off, encourage myself, get back on track, and do what I need to do, um, all of a sudden people start supporting your show. So that is what Tasha need to be doing. She need to be online grinding heavy, you know what I mean? So that people can pull through and support her that way. So it's not like she's just getting a handout, but she's actually working um, towards what's going on, you know what I mean? And that to me is how things are supposed to be. If the viewers see you working and grinding, they're gonna have no choice but to be like, damn, she's putting in work, let me support. He's putting in work, let me support. That's just the way things go. You know what I mean? What's going on, brother Zato in the building? What's going on? Let me see. You say you got to catch the replay. All right. If you, I understand a lot of folks is busy. They may not be able to catch the stream, but if you can catch the stream, it is what it is. If you got work, you got to do things. You're busy. Handle your business. You know what I mean? Next time, just watch the replay or whatever the case is. But I feel that this GoFundMe is the end of Tasha K, because if no one supports this GoFundMe, if people just say, I'm done, I'm not messing with this, and they turn their back, this is all on her. This is all on her. She's going to feel the weight of that. She might raise 10,000 or whatever. Look, let me tell you what I see, gang. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to tell you exactly what this is, bro. I'm gonna tell you what this is, man. I'm tired of the games, man. I just want to tell you guys the truth on what I'm seeing from the situation. Now, peep game. You heard Tasha K tell you that she's going to be putting 20K a month. 20K a month. Peep the game. In my opinion, she's using that GoFundMe so it can reach a threshold of 20K and then that go to Cardi without her touching her own money. Are y'all seeing that? In other words, the GoFundMe with the Cash Apps, the Venmo, the PayPal, all of that she said tallied up to about 10,000. So if she's paying 20,000 a month, in my opinion, she's using these apps to generate at least 20,000 a month. It might be on the slow, right? But she's using it to foot the bill that way, whereas no money is coming out of her pocket. No money is coming out of her pocket, gang. Listen, fam, if she's not going to show you, well, it is smart. I ain't going to hold you. It's smart, but I don't think that came from her. I think her attorneys did the math, they calculated everything, and it says, hey, you can get this debt paid off by just letting your viewers pay it on a slow basis monthly. Because think about it, people got things to do. They ain't going to all donate. But if you think about a monthly payment plan of 20K a month, she could raise that 20K on GoFundMe monthly. And then that goes straight to Cardi B. And the thing is, nothing is coming out of her YouTube money or any social media money. It's all coming out of your pocket. That is how the church been paying for things for years. The church never used their money. They take the people's money and they rob the people. That's how they able to stay rich. You understand? That's why all of these pulpit pimping pastors make millions of dollars. You know? That's just the way it is, man. You said what? Downgrade her means of living is the answer. I mean, she ain't gonna do that, guys. She's not gonna do that because again, she's making a certain amount of money on YouTube to maintain the lifestyle. So the last thing she's gonna do is downgrade. She's expecting that you is gonna pay her bill. You folks gotta tell her, no, I'm not paying the bill. You know? I'm not paying the bill. Well, the Bishop Whitehead guy, he was a crook in the church, you know, wearing designer clothes, making all this money and taking advantage of women. You know what I mean? So he got his judgment. That's what happens to all of these people. All of these charlatans, they always face judgment like that, guys. It's always good to be fair, um, do the right thing, and you'll go a long way. This is why when it comes to mechanics, it's hard for me to trust a mechanic. You know what I mean? And shout out to the good mechanics, the real mechanics that really care about vehicles. You live for repairing vehicles. It's your livelihood. You love what you do. Um, a lot of mechanics, they're not trustworthy, man. You take your vehicle, man. They start giving you these prices, giving you a rundown on stuff. I'm like, nah, fam, you tripping, dog. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the work myself, fam. Like I gotta go to AutoZone in the morning. I gotta go take care of some things. Gotta get some supplies and whatnot, and do this B3 service on this vehicle. And I ain't paying all of this money. I don't even got it to pay. I don't even got it to I don't even got it to go get it done by the shop, bro. Like real talk. So I got to go do this thing myself. I ain't giving these people no money to do that because what I learned in my experience with vehicles and taking them to shops is uh people most of the times the mechanic don't do the job, bro. They don't do the job right, bro. They don't. I'm not saying all, like I said, there are good mechanics, but there are some mechanics that don't do the job, man. They don't. Some of y'all go in for an oil change. They didn't change your oil, fam. They didn't change the oil, man. And I'm talking about those little shops that just kind of play games. They didn't do the work. That's why you gotta watch them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do nothing. And sometimes they don't install things back properly. They don't tighten things. They don't change things. Next minute, your car's sounding funny. You like, what the heck is going on, dog? My car was not sounding like that, man. Why is sounding like this now? They done messed something else up to keep you coming back, man. They keep doing this all the time. That's why always do it yourself, man. Always do all your repairs yourself. It's easy, guys. Very, very easy, man. Very, very easy to do repairs. You just got to take your time, you know? Um, Let me see. It's going to take about 14.5 years to pay off that debt. Guys, YouTube is going to change in 14.5 years. I've been on YouTube since 2006. I was here from the beginning. YouTube started in 2005, and then YouTube sold YouTube to Google, and then Google changed everything. They changed all the rules, everything. So I seen the evolvement of how YouTube evolved into what it is today, from the good old days to what it is now. It came a long way. So 14 years from now, man, I don't even know if YouTube will still be here. I don't even know. I don't know. What I do know is things are going to change, and it's going to be a whole different world. And 14 years, that's a long time, gang. That's a long time to be in debt. Would Tasha K still even be relevant in 14 years? Because a lot of times, see, the thing about social media that a lot of content creators don't understand, and I want to share this because a lot of times people get in their ego and they don't understand how social media works. You can have a platform, right, that is doing extremely well, right? And then you have a season where your channel just goes dormant and you go through a drought. And then another channel, for some reason, has a spike and it starts to grow. And then that channel stopped growing. They don't even know what happened. And then it falls down. So you really never know how things are going to play out in the future. The best thing you could do is just keep evolving, keep practicing, keep showing up and innovating, and reinventing yourself so that you stay fresh each year. You're always doing something new, and it's engaging to the viewers. Because the more I understand how YouTube work, because I've been here since 2006 and I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, but I understand that you know the algorithm is not this machine that decides if it want to give you views. It's the people. The people decide everything. So topics, commentary, subject matter, all of that plays a part. But is that what the viewer is looking for? A lot of times as content creators, they think that they could just say whatever, do whatever, and people just going to gravitate towards it. That's not how it works. It's based on what the viewer want. It's no different than if I have a restaurant and you're hungry, right? When you walk into my restaurant, you're hungry. You ain't come there because you like me. You ain't come there because I'm playing a certain kind of music. You looking at that menu to see if I got what you want. That's it. Can I deliver what you came in there for? So when you think about YouTube, when you think about social media and content creation, it's just like that. It's an all you can eat buffet. And when the customers come in, you got to be able to have what they're looking for. And if you don't have what they're looking for, they'll go to some other channel to look for what they're looking for. That's the game. That's how it works, right? So I thought I'd mention that because a lot of times people don't understand. They think that they could just do whatever. Now, the reason why Tasha K was able to grow is because she have what people want to hear. They want to hear the tea. They want to hear the gossip. That's what they want, guys. But that gossip got her in trouble. So for her, she got to go through it, gang. So I'm gonna keep you posted on this thing and continue to share my thoughts about these topics because I know that people want to hear my perspective on what's going on with this. I feel that she ended her career with this GoFundMe. I think she should have never did this. You know, I don't think that she should have ever put this GoFundMe out there because it brought a lot of public backlash to her for even attempting to do this. It's extremely, it's to the extreme right now. I could understand a GoFundMe that is reasonable. It got a reasonable goal, but 3.5 million, fam, that's just insane. That's insane right there, man. So she's basically banking on the fact that her viewers got 3.5 million to give her. That's wild. A lot of times you have a lot of viewers, they don't even got it like that. You know what I mean? A lot of viewers are in their own. I don't know if we're back, but let's see. This is why people have to learn to communicate, man. Let me see. I don't know what's going on, man. Are we back? I knew I was talking to myself the whole time. I saw everybody disappear from the live stream, so I'm like, what went wrong? Guys, look. When a live stream is happening, right? You guys have to whatchamacallit, if you notice the stream cut out, the best thing you can do is post a comment by saying, "Yo, Ringo, you're frozen," or "Ringo, the internet is down. Something's wrong." That way I can see it in the live chat. Because I was talking for a long while and nobody was saying nothing. I seen y'all just chatting with yourselves. And then one person was like, something's wrong with his internet or something along them lines. And that's when I checked and figured out to, kind of sort whatever's going on. But it took a long time for people to say it. So in future content, if I'm streaming, remember I'm on a cell phone right now. So if I'm streaming and you notice the live stream just stop, right? If the live stream just stop and it's like it's spinning and you're wondering what the heck is going on, go into the live chat and let me know. Because on my end, it's still streaming. It's just that it's not going out to you guys. So write in the comments, "Yo, Ringo, check your internet. Switch to your phone data from your Wi-Fi. Something's wrong." That way I can instantly figure out what's going on. Because I don't know how long how long I was talking. I was talking a lot of good stuff and it didn't get recorded. So it is what it is, man. And I don't even know how long I was out, man. That's crazy, man. When stuff like that happen, I don't even know if you guys were able to get the message, you know. But it is what it is, man. I guess I already done shared my thoughts. 5 minutes? That's a long time, and nobody told me. If I'm out for 5 minutes and you guys ain't telling me nothing, man, that's bad. You got to let me know. You know, trust me, I'm not gonna just let a show just go dormant for 5 minutes. At that point, you got to spam the chat by letting me know, "Yo, Ringo, you're not there. I can't see you. The internet is down. There's a spinning beach ball or something." That way I'm looking at the comments. I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me see what I could do to fix it." You know? Because I saw something happen and I figure, okay, we back because I saw the live chat going, you know? But I might come back on with another one. It is what it is. But my apologies. I don't have control of the internet. You know what I mean? I'm living in a rural area and the internet out here sucks. But right now it's on my phone data. So that's why we're back. I just switched it to the phone data. Let me see. Somebody said, "What? You're what? You're shaking a bit?" I don't know. I don't know what you mean, shaking a bit. Oh boy. More problems, man. Let's see what we got, man. This is crazy. I don't see anything shaking on my laptop. I don't know what you're talking about. You know? Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna get up on out of here, man, because once that happened, it kind of threw me off of where I was going. So I'll catch you on another one. Peace and blessings. Uh Rate, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. Give it a thumbs up. Catch the replay. You know what I'm saying? Rewatch if you haven't seen it, the whole video. Get the full message so that you can be edified on what we had to talk about. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. It is what it is. So y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.